Imagine the scene. You're locked in mortal combat. All around you, the ground trembles under the weight of cannon fire. Smoke stings your lungs, and the air grows thick with the stench of death. Each heartbeat echoes like a drum solo in your ears. Above, bullets zip past, angry hornets threatening to shatter your world. Time itself seems to narrow down to this single moment. Then, amidst this cacophony of destruction, you glimpse a sanctuary. A low wall emerges, carrying soldiers to safety. They seem to vanish behind it, and it moves, shifting and adapting to the terrain. Yes, it's not merely a stationary barrier, it's a fortress on the march. And with every step, it writes a new chapter in the tale of human resilience. We've all heard the tales of legendary military tactics and formations, but how many of these have you seen in action? Today, let's dive into the story of a formation so ingenious it gave birth to a whole new meaning of the word evolution. The tortoise, also known as the arquebus formation, a term derived from the Spanish word for musket, was much more than just a defensive maneuver. It was a testament to the adaptability and sheer brilliance of military strategy. Now, let's travel back in time to the 16th century when firearms started taking the battlefield by storm. Muskets were the game changers, allowing soldiers to engage enemies from afar. But they weren't exactly precise. This forced military minds to rethink traditional formations. Entered the tortoise, born out of necessity and forged in the fires of innovation. It offered an ingenious solution to the problem of protecting vulnerable gunners, while still enabling them to unleash volley after volley into the enemy ranks. The basic idea was for soldiers to form interlocking circles, each holding their ground while others loaded their muskets. But there was more to it than just logistics. The beauty of the tortoise lay in its organic structure, similar to that of living cells, which adapt and respond to external stimuli. As the battle raged, soldiers within the formation shifted and reformed, always keeping their comrades in the line of fire covered. It was a dynamic dance of defense and offense. Picture this. A regular army of foot soldiers faces off against a heavily armored knightly order, creating an image of offense versus defense. What if we injected some movement into this static picture? Imagine the knights as an invading force trying to break through the defensive line, only to find themselves surrounded by a wall of pike-wielding infantry, trapped and under constant threat of attack. The knights are forced to abandon their charge. In this scenario, the simple act of moving forward becomes a powerful strategic tool. By shifting their positions, the defending army can force the knights into a precarious situation, compelling them to retreat. Fast forward to the mid-1800s, and we find a masterclass of the tortoise in action. British forces, led by Colonel William Fane, nicknamed Vinegar Bill, find themselves pinned down by Russian artillery during the Battle of Karansebes. Despite heavy losses, Fane's strategic brilliance shines through. His men, armed with a mix of pikes, bayonets, and muskets, stand firm. When the Russians advance, they form tight interlocking groups, creating miniature tortoises that absorb the shock of cavalry charges. As night falls, they withdraw in perfect unison, frustrating the Russians who cannot gain any ground. This display of adaptive tactics and resilience showcases the timeless value of the tortoise formation. It's a testament to its enduring relevance in the ever-evolving world of warfare. This adaptable tactic also found favor among Native American tribes like the Cherokees and Iroquois. They integrated elements of the tortoise into their fighting styles, reflecting a universal truth of warfare. Strategy knows no cultural boundaries. Now, let's shift our focus to a monumental event in military history, the Battle of Karansebes. Amidst the smoke and roar of cannons during the Crimean War, a small band of British soldiers faced a daunting challenge. Outnumbered and under relentless Russian attack, their numbers dwindling, they formed a circle, a desperate bid for survival. At the heart of this struggle was the ingenuity of one man, Colonel William Fane. With limited resources, he orchestrated a masterful defense, utilizing whatever weapons his men had: pikes, bayonets, and muskets. This was no ordinary stand. It was a ballet of resilience and strategy. As the Russians advanced, the British fell back, reforming into tight groups, each a miniature tortoise safeguarding its comrades. Their unity was their strength, frustrating the enemy's attempts to break their ranks. It was a display of tactical brilliance, reminding us that sometimes the smallest, most vulnerable units can achieve the most remarkable victories. And this isn't just a tale of military strategy, it's a reflection of the human spirit's tenacity. Faced with seemingly insurmountable odds, these soldiers exemplified courage, camaraderie, and quick thinking, proving that in the face of adversity, humanity has the power to adapt and triumph. Now let's take a trip across the pond to the battlefields of the American Civil War, where Confederate Colonel John Mosby and his men employed a unique tactic to outmaneuver the Union Army, operating in small groups. They would launch surprise attacks and then quickly disperse, making them difficult to target. Sounds familiar? Exactly. Like the modern guerrilla warfare tactics used by special forces. This approach often involved hit-and-run missions, utilizing speed and surprise to gain an advantage over the enemy. These fighters often operated in areas where they had local support, further complicating the efforts of pursuing forces. This style of combat is a clear nod to the influence of earlier military innovations. It shows how tactics evolve and are reused in different contexts throughout history. But this evolution doesn't stop at the battlefield. It extends to the very tools of war. Imagine the shockwaves that rippled through the military community when the Roman legionary shield, designed nearly 2,000 years ago, was rediscovered and reintroduced during the 19th century. This iconic symbol of Roman military might underwent a fascinating journey, fading into obscurity after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, only to be rediscovered and revived centuries later. Its resurgence wasn't merely a nostalgic throwback. It signified a return to classic design principles, rooted in function and durability. You see, this shield, forged from wood and iron, was a masterpiece of engineering. It seamlessly combined lightness with robustness, a feat often thought impossible. Yet it wasn't just its physical attributes that made it so effective. It was the mental agility it fostered among soldiers. Armed with these shields, Roman legionaries could form a cohesive unit, their shields interlocked, creating a formidable wall of defense. This innovation in group tactics allowed them to face down charging cavalry, deflecting their blows as if they were made of iron. Now, imagine being part of a Roman legion, standing shoulder to shoulder with your comrades, ready to meet the charge of an entire army head-on. As the enemy draws near, you raise your shield high, forming an impenetrable wall of wood and metal. The impact reverberates through your body, testing your strength and resolve. Yet you hold firm. Rhythmic clash of shields and the roar of the crowd create a deafening symphony of war. It's a spectacle of raw power and unwavering determination. Together, you and your fellow legionaries stand unyielding, turning back the tide of battle and ensuring the safety of your comrades. But the story of the Roman shield doesn't end with the legions. It echoed through the ages, influencing armor design and military strategies. For instance, the iconic samurai armor, with its emphasis on mobility and protection, bears the hallmarks of this ancient innovation. Fast forward to the 20th century, and we see the legacy of the Roman shield continuing. Military strategists and designers drew inspiration from its classic design, applying the lessons of its enduring legacy to modern warfare. The Roman shield, a symbol of strength and unity, continues to cast its shadow across the annals of military history. In essence, the Roman shield is more than just a piece of equipment. It's a testament to human ingenuity, adaptability, and the ceaseless evolution of warfare. Now, what if we could capture the essence of the Roman shield? Not just in its physical form, but in the way we approach challenges. How could we apply its principles to our everyday lives? Imagine facing life's challenges with the same resilience and adaptability that the Roman shield represented. What if we carried this mindset into our personal battles, big and small? This isn't just a call to be stronger or more resilient. It's an invitation to be smarter, more adaptable, and more united in the face of adversity. It's a reminder that sometimes the best solutions lie in the echoes of the past, waiting for us to rediscover and reapply them to the challenges of the present. If you found this journey through time and tactics intriguing, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on my channel, The Forgotten Path. Your engagement fuels our journey. Let's continue exploring the rich tapestry of history and strategy together.